Even though this life gets tough, said you gotta keep fighting. And even though it gets hard, it's gon' get hard. You gotta keep striving. But you gotta keep striving. Through the fears and the loss, so the tears won't turn off. No cares, your heart's crying. Yes, hold on to his words. Lean on him, it gets better,
The toughest war you ever face will be domestic. It's elementary, it's been this way for centuries. Cold War was raised against our seed. Take off them blinders, you will see. That it ain't about them gas prices, it's all about who whip the nicest. All about them deals on bundles, Arrow Fleet don't make them up. Face beating red bottoms, dead beats we hear about them. Fitted up from head to toe, but never at their children's door. Wonder why they dying by the dozens, but it's simple, yo. Just listen. It's time we stop ignoring facts. It's time we take our family back. Fix the root and then attack. Stop making moves without a plan. Control emotions, then we stand. Calling on my kingdom and to come together. Take this land. We gotta fight, our future depends. Get the head back in order, cause that's where it begins. Invest your all into your garden, water the roots to the end. Nurture the family tree and let the fruit feed all men. Just listen.
Welcome to another episode of A Mile in My Shoes, where we ask the question, how can we say we know someone if we've never heard their story? Tonight, I'm very honored to have the pleasure to have I can't even call him I'm gonna call him a little brother, man. My little brother that I was able to watch grow up in music, grow up in ministry, and turn into a minstrel who is on fire with God. I was able to watch him join in marriage with his wife, able to watch him go through fatherhood. And tonight, I wanted to pick his brain on what it is to be a minstrel in these days. So without any further ado, I'd like to welcome my baby brother, Shekinah Antoine. What's going on, man?
Yo, what's good?
Hey, first I want to say I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you, man.
Oh, hold on. I need to get a barber. Oh, this is my God.
Hey, you don't want me to take my hat off right now. So just know I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
But real talk, I'm proud of you, man. I watched you from knee high, barely could see over piano. And now you've grown into a worshiper, somebody who embodies what it is to have the heart of God for his people behind that piano, man. So I want you to introduce yourself and let us know, where did the love for music begin?
So, hey guys, this is new to me. You gotta bear with me.
It's in you, man.
My name is Shekinah Antoine. I am 23 years old, going on 24 on the 25th of this month. Shout out to all August babies. I am like you said, I'm a husband. I am a father. Most importantly, I am a child of God. I take that very seriously. I know we use that term, and there's a whole deeper conversation. But I am a child of God first and foremost. I love the Lord. I love serving His people. And one of the ways that I serve His people is through the small gift that I have of music. I have actually been playing since I think 5, and then I didn't actually start playing in church until I was probably like 12, and so it just kind of gradually grew on from there.
Shout out to Kevin Williams.
Shout out to St. Mary. That's where it started.
He played a major role in both our starts when it came to that music ministry, man.
Man, that's where it started. That's where it started. I give honor to Pastor Kevin, Pastor Taraja, and the whole St. Mary congregational family. They were two people who were pillars, very important pillars in my life, especially after the transition of my mother. And so I really honor them. I thank God for them. I want to take just one more second and say, I love y'all. I honor y'all. If y'all watching, I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. Thank you guys for everything that you've done for me thus far. And thank you for everything that you will do in the future because I don't believe it's over
Not at all.
at all.
So I wanna pick the brain. And I'm so happy because you like one of the first of the younger generation to come on a mile in my shoes, man. So I want to ask,
Hmm.
what is it like being a minstrel in today's church, man? What is it?
Phew, get away.
Come on, man. We about to unfold this, man.
um, I would say, everybody. Well, first of all, let me make this disclaimer. Um, this is my view. Okay, I know everybody is different. I know everybody has different outlooks, different viewpoints. So I can only give you a mile in my
Yo,
shoes.
shoes.
Size 13, by the way. So I would say that being a musician in today's society, today's church society, today's ministry society, I would say it's not all it's not all bad as people make it.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually something you can enjoy. One of the things that I feel is that you just gotta be in the right place
Yeah.
and you gotta be enjoying the right moments.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we know life is about moments. Life is about learning and growing and succeeding. You can't succeed if you don't grow. If you can't grow if you don't learn. So we're in this cycle of learning and growing and succeeding. I think it's important that we put ourselves in the position to learn, the position to grow, and the position to see, with the root being the position to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Being a musician in this day and age is very, to me, very crucial. Um,
Mm.
Especially if you are saying that you're going to be a minister of music, that's a whole deeper playing field. Um, there's a lot that has happened and has transitioned since 2000 to now.
Yeah.
And so the warfare is definitely there. I think that in order to maintain a healthy musical lifestyle in today's ministerial society, that we have to first and foremost, we have to remember that we're not we're not, I shared this with somebody last week, we're not trying to please everybody.
Hmm.
uh, what I mean by that is we're not supposed to make people the final authority of affirmation and praise, when our root goal should be God. Our
Mm.
root goal should be God, nothing else, nothing more. Jesus Christ is enough. And so once we understand that Jesus Christ is enough, it doesn't matter if you get the name in the lights. It doesn't matter if you get the big platforms. It doesn't matter if I feel somebody clenching up right here. It doesn't matter if you get the award. It doesn't matter if you get the record deal. It doesn't matter if you know, make it. You know what I'm saying? Our ultimate goal is to make it, not make it, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. We're working towards a higher
Ooh,
reward.
that was a hot one. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa,
Okay,
whoa.
I'll back that up. I'll say that again. We're working to make it, not make it. We're working to make it, to hear God say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant."
That
Not
was heavy.
not oh, you did so good. You did this. Let me sign you here. Let me do this. I'm gonna be honest, man. There are many people that I know that were on their way to being forces in the kingdom, but because they've allowed pride and selfish ambition and motive to get in the way, I watched a hard fall, and very few have ever recovered from that. And so one of the things that I asked God to do was to keep me
Mm.
humble. Stay humble. I listen to
So
your song.
my
Stay
question,
humble.
my question though, how do you keep yourself on that path when so many in the whole world like desires that praise and that fame and that glory? How do you keep yourself focused? And now you got to minister to all the ministers and the young ministers coming up. How do
Mhm.
you keep yourself focused on doing this to glorify God and not getting veered off of into the light? I'll say.
Oh, my a lot of people don't know this, but mine actually was involuntarily. Uh,
Mm,
so if you getting, like, let's say if you getting robbed, somebody say you can either give me your money voluntarily or involuntarily. Like, either you can do what I'm asking you to do, or I'll force you to do it by other.
yeah.
That's kind of how I went. I was just coming up, learning things. My playing was starting to get better, and of course, being in the area that I was, it's kind of small, but it was like everybody was starting to say, "Hey, this is the guy. This is the guy. He could play. He could do this." And then when it got out, I knew how to hum a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, all these people started calling, all these people started making me offers and stuff. And so, like like any anybody who's not who hasn't been properly, I'd say, nurtured into having the heart of humility and a heart of service first,
Yeah.
uh, you really can get drunk off of the intoxication of affirmations and praise.
Oh, I've been there.
It's quite scary, because you're looking for all of this all of these people to fill your ego. You're looking for people to you know say how good of a job you did, and then you're forgetting that, what if God was pleased? Was
Mm,
God pleased with what I offered? you
yeah.
know and Jesus, if we read the Bible, um he warned about doing stuff for the appraisal of men, because if you do it for them, then that's going to be your ultimate reward, and so you have nothing else left to inherit. And so my 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 pit stop
Come
was, I'll never forget it. I was in a service. It was somewhere out here in Lafayette, and I was getting, the praise. I was getting the, "Oh, you did that," doing little things, and just hearing just people just be like, "Play that thing, boy, sing, boy," all of that. And then, I just started getting the big head. I never forget, I was somewhere that happened. They called me back to play something and to accompany somebody else. Now, mind you, I had no vocal issues. I had no problems playing. Dude, when I got to that instrument and I turned the mic on, oh, I'd never, God, it's, I'd never forget it. It was just like, my brain went left. My brain went left, and I was, I was, I'm sorry, I just got a call. Yeah, so I was literally like, okay, well, what happened? So now I'm trying to play the song that I knew like the back of my hand, and then it's just like all of a sudden I can't remember what I'm playing.
Wow.
I can't remember what I'm playing. So I just cut it off. I just said, I do that thing that most people do. This is be like, the keyboard not working. So it's just like, yeah, yeah. So I also just turned the mic on because it was time for me to come in on the part.
Yeah.
And so I remember like my voice went out. It went out. So I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? All these people that's clapping for me. This is what I said. All these people that's clapping for me, and I can't have this. I can't have it. I never forget it. God said to me very clearly, and this wasn't that long ago.
Mm.
It was like probably right before COVID. Probably right before COVID. So I never forget. I heard God vividly say, "Don't you ever again forget who you do this for. Don't you ever again forget
Mm.
who you
Mm.
because
Yeah.
a lot of time here's where we get the misconception. Here's where we get the misconception. The gifts and callings of God come without repentance. Meaning if God has given you a gift, God's not going to take it back. But when God has something on your life that he knows is going to be very impactful for his use, he's not going to let you get in the way of his plan.
Man, you better teach.
Even if he has to embarrass you.
Man, you better, man.
But I just
Here
remember,
come the Reverend.
I just shut up.
Here come the Reverend.
I just remember it may seem, I mean, it may seem small to other people. It may seem like, you know, but it was definitely a pride killer. It was definitely a pride killer. I just remember just like halfway, halfway crying, going home, and just like,
That's an eye opener right there. Look, that's a eye. Hey, that's like a dad come to
yeah,
check you real quick. Like, don't
yeah.
you forget it.
Now you got out of line. So let me put you back in line real quick.
Hey, but those whom he loves, he chastised, man.
Exactly.
It doesn't feel good, but at the end of the day, you like, all right, pops, all right, dad, I shake
So
back.
stop calling dad your father. Stop calling God your father if you don't give him permission to
Yeah.
chastise you. But that's just my
Preach, Reverend.
anyways.
So how do you maintain that?
So I maintain that by first of all coming to this realization that anytime I'm behind an instrument, anytime I'm behind even a microphone, I always, I don't care where I am, how big or small, I always know it's about your people.
Mm,
It's to your people,
yeah.
but for your glory.
Mm.
Um,
And Reverend coming
we
out.
have to, Brandon, be quiet.
Hey, you can't help it, man. It's in you, man.
Oh man.
You can't help it, man. It's in you, man. It's
So
in you. It's all over you, man.
I don't know. It's just like for me, like when I'm ministering, my mind just like goes out the window, and it's just like whatever God wants to do, I have to make myself ready for that. Um, a lot of people, a lot of musicians, a lot of worship leaders, I think we got it twisted when we stopped making it about God and we made it about performance.
Oh, talk about it for a second, man.
And so, yeah, performance based, performance based praise and worship, performance based ministry, I should say, has been the cancer and the death of a lot of moves of God that
Mm,
wanted to happen. But because we allow, like I said in the beginning, because we allow ourselves and what we want and what we think we should hear from people to get in the way of what God wants to do, now all of a sudden, the person that came in the service to get healing, they can't get healing because you're in the way.
Not in tune.
The person that needs the person that needs their spirit lifted, they can't be lifted out of that dark place because you're in the way. This is why we have to be mindful of how we come into the presence of God.
Mm.
And we got to also be thankful that we're not in the old age. Because when the, oh yeah, I'm going to go there. When the priest, when the priest would get ready to atone for the sins of the people, they couldn't just go in the presence of God any kind of
Any
way.
kind of way.
They had to prepare. They had to consecrate themselves. They had to make sure that they were in right standings.
You took my next question, man. Can I ask my next question? Because you about to lead right into the next question, man.
Go ahead.
How important is the lifestyle of the musician, the praise and worship leader, the choir? How important is the light? You about to go straight into it. Continue the story. Because you took my whole question. Continue your story. Continue your story. Look, we in line. We in line. We in line.
So yeah, it's just they had a certain way that they they had to prepare for coming into the presence of God. And so in this day and age, it's really no different. You first of all, you have to live a surrendered life.
Mm.
Surrender life. And a part of surrendering means that you sacrifice everything that you want for God's will.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's not comfortable. Sometimes it's resisting. Sometimes it's, giving up things that you think are valuable, but they're really nothing more than just fadeaways.
Yeah.
And so when you understand that the presence of God, his will, and what he wants to do through the lives of his people is enough, then I think we'll get a better result. Um, I am dying daily,
Yeah.
daily. This is a daily death. This is not a once a week. This is not a every Sunday type of thing, or every what have you, every service type of thing. But this is just like a continuous thing.
Yeah.
Um, I'm different. I'm different. I'll
Yeah.
say, um, God has me on a different path, uh, meaning that things that other people can get away with, I can't. I can't. Um, I can't disrespect my wife and dog her out and think that I can usher in the presence of God, because it won't work. For me, this is me. This is how God deals with me. Other people are different, but this is me. I can't lead anybody in the worship behind a piano. And I just got through trying to have a hookup.
Real. Real. Look,
It can't work.
it's
Why? Why? Because again, when God when God has something that he's blessed you with, that is going to, like I said before, that is going to be a monster for the kingdom. He's not going to let you get in the way,
no.
because one way or another you will do his will.
If he has to shake the earth to grab you,
Yes.
he'll do it.
He rumbled it a little bit. He rumbled it a little bit for me. It's just, I don't know, man. I I have I have seen God do great things. Now God can use anybody in any situation.
Yeah.
He can. But for the ones that he's just specifically picked out for a specific reason, no sir. No ma'am.
I feel that.
It ain't gonna work like that. And
I
so
feel that.
part of my journey is making sure that because I'm not always. There are times I have to go and say I'm sorry. There are times I have to put down my pride and admit I was wrong, because men, a lot of times we don't like to admit we're wrong. There are a lot of things that I've had to go back and correct.
Yeah.
Lifestyle, just things that I've held on since youth, and it's God has had to do a lot of processing to me, because for one, He knows where He's taking me,
Yeah.
and He knows the plans that He has for me. And again, I'm gonna say it throughout this whole interview until I die, even after this interview. Like, God is not going to let you get away. There are some people, it looks like they're getting away, but they're really not. And
Mm-hmm.
then there's just the rest of us that God just has on this tight leash. Like,
Can't breathe.
can't breathe. Can't breathe.
Mm-hmm.
It's like my pastor made a reference Sunday about the collars that all of the ministers and pastors wear. And he said that he was trying to put it on, and he said it wouldn't button up in the back, and it was in a way choking him a little bit. And he said that God spoke to him in his office while he was putting that on, while he was having somebody help him put that on as well. He said, "You got to remember that you're yoked up to me.
Holy.
So while you feel like you can't breathe, that's really your flesh trying to fight." And so a lot of the problem is we let our flesh do more winning than we allow the Spirit of God to do.
Yes, sir.
And so once we die to ourselves and make room for the will of God, the plan of God, the purpose of God, we learn His ways, we learn His statutes, we learn everything that God wants us to be, who He wants us to be, what He wants us to have, what He wants to do. Then I think we'll get a better outcome within not just in music ministry, but in personal lives.
Yeah.
Personal lives. I have a heart. I have a heart for a lot of people that that just can't get it, if I could say. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
just being stuck, because some people are stuck to mindsets. Some people are stuck to old habits. Some people are stuck to traditions. Some people are stuck to this is the way I've always known it. And we got to break that, man.
Yeah.
Like, got to really break that in order to see a move of God. Not just in your ministry, but in your own life. There are some things you just got to let go of.
You
There
gotta
are some
submit.
circles, there are some circles you just got to walk away from. There's
Mm-hmm.
some places and things that you just got to walk away from, and it's not going to be comfortable, but you got to know that anytime you're following God, it's not supposed to make sense. It's not supposed to make sense, because if it made sense, then what do you need Him for?
It still haven't made sense to me yet, man. He just say, trust me.
Hmm.
Trust
How can you trust what you don't understand?
me. Mm.
That's been my thing. Like, a lot of things that's happened in my life, like I didn't understand. Like, why did I have to go through this road? Why did I have to be born in the family I was born to? Why did I have to be why did I have to be on the road that I was in this journey called life? Why? Like, why? I'm still trying to find the what in the why, and I can't.
Where do you think you get all that power from? Where do you think you get all that wisdom from? You 23 years old, my brother.
I just live.
I think you forget sometimes that you 23 years old. Would you like me to testify what I was doing at 23 years old? Not what you doing at 23 years old. Look, and that's the beauty about it though, man. My little brother, man, you don't even realize how much of an impact you've making on a lot of people, man. Like, I got the utmost respect for you because, like I said, I was able to watch it. A lot
Right.
of people don't know how long we go back.
Oh, we
Far
go back some years. I
Like,
was thinking about that today prior to this interview. Like, we go back some years.
so my next question though, being as like I said, you the first young person that I got on here, so I got to pick your brain. How,
Thomas.
how do shout out to your wife and the powerful things that she's doing in ministry. My question to y'all, to you, y'all, being a young person, having a wife and a family, two powerful people in ministry, how do y'all balance life and ministry together? Uh oh. Uh
I
oh.
can't stand.
Come on, man.
By the way, y'all, there was no prior interview to this interview. So what y'all getting is real raw as it is.
Always.
Oh,
No rehearsals on Mile in My
no
Shoes.
rehearsals, no rehearsals.
Keep it real and keep it
Oh,
raw.
I say
How
that
does a young couple balance ministry and marriage?
that
I
is
want to know.
actually something we are still learning. I gotta be honest. That is actually something we're still learning. I know somebody was waiting to say, "Oh, we do this, we do." No, we're still learning. We're still learning because there have been many arguments. There have been many fights.
Look,
There have been many days.
look,
We
look.
just
Us
couldn't
older
figure it
generation go through the same thing. We go through the same thing. Don't get it
Man,
twisted.
man, like it is definitely something like we're still learning. Um, I mean, when we first got together, it was bad. Like we barely had time for each other because either I had to do something or she had to go somewhere or da 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 da. And it's just like, you never make time for me. Well, you never make time for me. Da, 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 da. You always in church, 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 church. All of that. So I guess like what's going on now is we're learning the value of prioritization,
Yeah,
learning how to be, a husband first, a wife first, and a minister second.
yes, sir.
Family is the first institution that God gave Adam, and
Mhm.
God gave him instructions on how to run that. God gave me instructions on how to run my house. And have I done a good job of that? Not all the time.
Hey, we all working, man.
But not all the time. But it's definitely, like Bree said, it's definitely a learning process. Definitely a learning process. There have been. I'm gonna be honest. There have been sometimes I wanted to go places. Because anybody that knows me or my wife, like it's nothing to fill up our car and hit the road. Like we like just being out, just go and support everybody we can because that's our heart.
Yeah,
But it's just like some days we just got to be like, all right, do we do that or do we just stay home
yeah,
and cook or just go somewhere?
yeah,
And so I definitely, it's been, this year has honestly been better than last year because last year it was crazy. Like we were somewhere almost every couple of days of the week. It
yeah,
was crazy. And so I think this year um, has definitely taught us balance because church is always going to be there.
yeah,
Ministry is going to go forward, but you might not always have the spouse because you're taking more time for this than seeing about what God put in your hands. And so, yeah, it's a conversation tonight. Yeah. So
big, the big brother.
once
I,
we learn that God gives us gifts, God gives us blessings. Um, the way that God gives us blessings, and I'm gonna be honest, a lot of people think it's money. It's not.
mm,
God can bless. There's somebody that I play for. She said this back in June. Blessings is not just money. It's not just material wealth. It's knowledge. It's ideas. It's wisdom. It's people.
hmm
People. And so once we learn that everything that we need is not going to come always in the form of what we want, but somebody's going to drop that knowledge. Somebody's going to be in your corner. Somebody's going to say, hey, I got your back no matter what. That is a blessing. And so the blessing that he decided to give me was my wife. And so I had to learn, and I'm still learning, how to treat her.
Yeah.
Because God gives you a wife, you obtain favor.
Mm-hmm.
There are just certain favors that you get when God has orchestrated somebody just for you. And a lot of things that is happening now would not have happened had she not come in the picture. I'm humble enough to say that.
Yeah. Hey,
I'm
you
humble enough to say that.
beyond your years, man. I could tell you this. I was going to tell you this. As a big brother, if I could hand you any keys, man, you already got them, man. But let ministry towards others come from the overflow of the ministry you and your house.
My pastor actually said the same thing to us a couple of months ago. So you're right on it. Yeah.
But you all at 23 could to even be hinting around that.
Yeah. It's an uncomfortable conversation that not many want to have, but it's the hard conversations that yield the best results.
Our generation, your generation, are the ones God is using to reestablish what ministry is supposed to look like. Because throughout the years we had it backwards.
Definitely.
So we put everything in the church and we put whatever's left over in our family.
Leftovers.
You put everything in your family, and you put what's left over into the church, meaning ministry, etc. And once we start doing it that way, and on to another note, if I can give you any keys, if y'all can understand and learn how to glean from each other, it's gonna be things that you've mastered and you can see, and there's gonna be things that she's mastered and she can see that you can't see. If y'all can learn to be each other's eyes, bro, you got the game. You won't have to go through a lot of heartache like a lot of us older ones had to go through. But you got the humility, and I love it though.
I think another thing that we also had to learn was listening to each other. Because we can be hard-headed sometimes. And it's just like a lot of things, like we look back and we say, okay, so you were right about this, you were right about that. And it's not even just to be right. It's about coming together and saying, okay, I need to trust you a little bit more here because obviously I got it wrong. And when two people are afraid to be wrong, then you have a toxicity that is hard to come out of.
Hey, that's a scary situation, man.
Yeah. So
that's
yeah.
Brick walls all day.
It's more so I'll be honest, it's more so me. Because a lot of things she says, I'll be like, oh, you don't know what you talk about. You know what you're talking about. And then later on, it's like, hey, you remember what you said?
No, but God gives wives a certain wisdom that is.
It's just like women are wired differently than men. And it's just like, you could have shown me.
Look, I'm gonna say this: us as husbands, we have to train our ears to be able to hear from them, and literally put it into the perspective that they are the mouthpiece of God to us. They know us in ways that nobody else knows about.
They have to go home with you. Not everybody else does.
Not everybody else does, man.
Exactly.
So look, that was a nice little raw excerpt. We ain't playing none of that, man. That's some good meat right there. That's some good bread.
Yeah.
So my next question though, for the upcoming young ministers, what's some advice you can give them, man? From what you've learned, man. What's some advice can you give them?
Rule number 1: don't compare yourself. Comparison is the thief of reality, because you're looking at what somebody else can do, there was a podcast that I was listening to earlier. And she said that every time you try to compare yourself to somebody else, you diminish who you really are to try to fit in the shoes of somebody else that you were never designed to fit in.
Ooh.
And so I think that we need to stop comparing ourselves and where we are at the current moment
Mm-hmm.
and realize that there is more, so much more that's ahead. And you don't have time to look at somebody else. God has gifted you. Nurture and grow your own gifts, your own callings, your own ideas, your own inventions. If you if you do be around other people who are better than you, learn from them.
Yeah.
Learn from them. Because what should happen is it should make you feel like you're not really doing enough with what you have, and it shouldn't prompt you to work that much harder on what you have, not be jealous.
Mm.
That was the biggest thing that I had to come out of, was always trying to compare myself or how I sounded to other people. And this is why we got a lot of carbon copies and not originals, because everybody wants to be somebody else, but who's going to be you?
Mm.
So don't compare. Don't be a carbon copy when God has made you original.
Yeah. And you have definitely found your own space, man.
It
You definitely found your own space. I promise you, man.
was hard, man. It was hard, but it's just
Mhm.
like I had to come to a point where it's like, okay, I'm trying to be everybody else. Who's gonna be me? Who's gonna be the silly clown that likes to laugh and joke around all day, and who just likes to just see other people around them just be joyful?
Yeah.
I'm too busy trying to be XYZ, and I'm losing me. So I can't afford no longer to lose me trying to be somebody else that I was never called and designed to be. It can't work.
Be
It
you.
won't work.
Be you, man. Be you. So what is your home place where you play at now?
Well, my home church now is Power Shift International under the leadership of Prophet Justin Thomas. Shout out to Lake Charles.
Gotcha.
Shout out to them. That place was really a place that really shocked me back to life.
Mm.
Literally, because I can testify this time last year, like I was literally dying.
Yeah.
I was dying, bro. When I tell you I was dying, and I
Yeah.
think we talked a few times last year, but like I was dying, and it's just like God knows where you need to go. God knows who you need to be in contact with, and it's
Mhm.
crazy because it was two people, my spiritual father and my pastor, Prophet Terry Baptiste and Prophet Justin Thomas. These two people God sent in my life at the right time, exactly when I thought my eyes were about to close spiritually. Because like I was ready to just say, screw this. That's not what I was gonna say, but I was gonna say screw
Yeah,
this.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But
You
just like, I was literally like losing it. And right when I was like getting ready to jump off the edge, here came two amazing people that literally said, I'm not gonna let you die here.
Mhm.
And so, yes, it's because of God, but like we said earlier, God releases things through people. And
Yeah.
so I give honor to the two people that I call my leaders, who literally loved me and shocked me back to life.
Yeah.
So to Prophet Terry Baptiste and Prophet Justin Thomas, thank you guys for being a resuscitator to my life. I honor you guys greatly and deeply, and I will forever, forever honor the grace that God has given to you. Not just for me, but for my whole house.
Yeah.
For my whole house. I honor those two. I honor those two. Honor those two. And another thing, we got to get back to honoring who feed.
Whoo! I ain't even gonna open up that can, man. Because that's all he,
I already did. So we have to get back to honoring those who by their hand God has used to bring us from one season to another season. We have to get back to honoring. We have to get back to honor. We may not like everything that they do. We may not like some of their ways and how they do things, but if God has put them in your life, then you got to honor.
I just did a video last week. That's all God been telling me. He's restoring honor back to the church.
Honor.
That's all he been telling me. He's restoring honor back to the church, man.
Stop trying to use your leaders to get ahead in ministry. Anyways, yeah, I'm starting to feel my help now.
Break that down, man. Let's talk about that for a second. Using leaders to get ahead.
Stop trying to join churches thinking that being close with the pastor is going to give you favor with God. Because, truth be told, a lot of people join churches in manipulation. A lot of people tithe in manipulation. A lot of people sow seeds, financial seeds in manipulation. The days of using people only to get a platform and a paycheck and popularity are over.
Ooh.
That's gone. Either you're going to serve and not be seen, or you're not going to serve at all. Stop trying to chase a blue check and worry whether or not your name is written in heaven.
It's definitely being made clear.
Yeah.
The difference.
Yeah.
He's definitely distinguishing the two.
Mm-hmm.
Those who are doing it for love of God and his people and to give him glory.
And those who are just doing it for filthy lucre.
For selfish gain.
When I serve, and this is not to brag, bro, but when I serve, I look for nothing.
Nope.
Nothing. Because God is my ultimate reward. And he's seeing how I serve who he's put in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
And when God can trust you with how you serve somebody else's vision that he gave them, he can trust you with yours.
But that's the thing. We don't like the process that God puts us through.
Okay.
Because it's not quick.
Why are you doing this? I'm like wide awake and fired now.
Look, the God process is not comfortable.
Look. You better.
There's no promotion without death.
I ain't got no mic, but I'm gonna drop this pair of scissors.
There is no promotion without death. So a lot of times we like to veer away from that process and do it our way, but that's been the same trick since the beginning of the time.
Mm-hmm.
If you do this, then I'll give you this. Satan been using the same trick to getting us to fall since the beginning of the time. Look, all you got to do is bow down, and I'll give you all of this. Same trick.
And then you bow down, and then you go through more hell in that season than you did prior to you bowing. It's not worth it.
The process, though, is so important because God putting us through that process is so when he finally does promote us, we stable enough to keep that promotion.
And when God processes you, he processes you to a point to where even if you make a mistake, nobody can bring you down because it was him that raised you up and not your own self.
Come on, Reverend. Come on.
Yeah.
That's my encouragement to the body, though, and the musicians, man. Just stay humble and remember what we're doing it for.
I was just about to say stay humble.
You lucky to warn you because I would have made you get on them keys and give us something tonight, man.
Look, my keyboard is in the bag over there. All my equipment is put up. After this, I'm going to eat and go in the bed. I got
Look,
work tomorrow.
before we go, any final words you would like to share with us, or any events you got coming up, anywhere they can find you, anything you got going on, anything your wife got going on, share with us. Anything you got for us?
Well, if you are in the Lake Charles area, you can join my wife as she is getting ready to embark on a major youth conference that will be at our church, Power Shift International, on the 18th and the 19th. The 18th, we are having a guest speaker from Baton Rouge. His name is Prophet Akeem Jamar, and it will be definitely be an experience that you don't want to miss. And then that Saturday at 2 o'clock, they're having a youth rally, which is basically nothing more than an outside event for the kids. We're gonna have basketballs, we're gonna have games, food trucks, snowballs, all of that. So come and you know get what you need from that. Also, if anybody needs business consulting, if anybody needs grant consultations, my wife is a grant consultant and a business consultant, and her hands are blessed, and she yields healthy, honest results. And so, if you need any further things, you can hit me up, and I'll direct you to her. Also, God has also gifted me with a ministry of my own. Shout out to Isaac Tarver for letting me use the name. My ministry is called Fire and Glory Ministry of Worship, and
Mm.
what we are is we are a group of people from different denominational backgrounds coming together and just being the voice of God through music in this next hour, in this next season. And so there's a lot more that I could say on that, but y'all gotta stay tuned for that. Other than that,
Posted on that, man.
yes, I will. But other than that, you can reach me on basically here on Facebook, because I'm on Facebook more than I am on Instagram, TikTok. So I don't know how to work all that. My wife does it.
Look, cool,
But
cool.
yeah, but I'm just me. I clown around all day, so it's important not to take everything I post seriously because I clown all day. Uh, I just if you want to laugh, come on my page because
Look,
you gonna laugh.
sometimes when I open that phone, I give you that big brother.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Look,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but we need that. We need that, man. We need that, man.
Good for the soul, man. Laughter's good for the soul.
Yes, indeed. Look, little bro, I appreciate you coming through. And look, again, I am truly proud of you, man, on every level,
I
from
honor.
musicianship, fatherhood, being a husband. Look, I'm proud of you, man. I didn't watch.
And let me return the favor and say that I am proud of you for this great platform that you have built to give people a chance to tell their story. And I just believe that it's the start of many other things surrounded with stories that God is going to use to catapult you to your next season. I really believe that God is going to bring you into a great season of not only more knowledge and not only a deeper heart for the people of God, but God is also going to give you a greater impact for wealth, not just for your family, but to use you as a bridge to help people get from one side to another. And I just believe that God is going to honor the works of your hands like he's already doing. God is going to raise you up just as strong and just as mightily as he's processed you, because like mine, I know your story too, and I know that your pruning and processing was not a easy one, like it is not for many other honest people. But I do honor you, sir. I do respect you. I honor you for your life. I honor you for your integrity. I honor you for everything that God has just done in your life. And I just look forward to seeing much more, bigger and better greater, higher heights, deeper depths. And all I can say is you have not seen what you're going to see yet. You have not been where you're going to go. And if I can end with anything, Dr. Matthew Stevenson has a mantra that says, great men and women are only born for the time that they're needed the most. And the only reason that God has placed you where he's placed you is because he has something to say. Had your past been everything life had to offer, then you have a reason to quit. But because God was not done, you're pressing harder just to see what the end is going to be. And I do believe that God has something great and mighty in store for you and the works of your hands. So keep pressing, keep pushing, and most of all, hashtag stay humble.
Stay humble, man. Go! I receive all that, man. I receive all that, man. Wow.
You know I love you, man.
Boy, I love you back, man. That was deep. That was deep, man. We love y'all. We appreciate you coming through. And like always, we going out with a song, man. Shout out to Shekinah Antoine. God bless his family. God bless his ministry. And look, keep pushing, little brother. I'm loving what I'm seeing, man.
Yes,
we
sir.
Going out, y'all. Look, hug y'all family. Keep God first. Remember what we said tonight. Consecrated life and let ministry be the overflow from the ministry that's taking place in your house, man.
Yes.
Love y'all, man. And we out.
This life gets tough, said you gotta keep fighting. And even though it gets hard, you gotta keep striving. Through the fears and the loss, so the tears won't turn off. No, he hears your heart's cry. Hold on to his words, lean on him. It gets better by and by.
And to my queens, I see y'all in a different way. It's more to y'all than posing pictures on your Facebook page. God giving power to uplift a man, to make a slave, speak life into our dreams, or tear us down and watch us fade away. Know y'all position, cause you're vital to the family structure, no replacing any mother. Careful how you treating love. Elegant, heaven sent etiquette is like no other. Her love is better than buttered biscuits right out the oven. Know who you are, don't let this world define, shape or mold you. God's daughter, queen of nations, there's no box to ever hold you. Life creator, womb protector, heaven sent, love injector, backbone, best gift ever, worth more than hidden treasure. I speak life, cause this world is trying to turn you cold. Replace that heart of stone with flesh. We need your love to make us whole. Take back your crown and hold us down. Together, we won't fold. Get back to love how God intended. Change to make this family whole.
Even though this life is tough, said you gotta keep